Welcome everybody, dear unknown and invisible beings. This should be my first episode in English language. And the reason why I chose it is because, honestly, I want to reach as many people as possible with that. I want to go international with this content. It's not just a personal diary, it's not just some consideration, because actually this is a topic that deserves more space and needs actually to be dealt with as soon as possible. There are many people in the world that cannot really do basic logics, and so in the name of rationality and science and so on and so forth, they are claiming all kind of absurdities. For instance, the same people who condemn the flat earthers, for instance, or all kind of conspirational theorists that say, I don't know, that 11th September it was a conspiracy of the American government. So the rational people say, and of course well say, they are crazy, and they are not crazy, but they are flawed, maybe they are fooled. The fact is that for other fields, for other scopes, they use the same way of thinking. And honestly, they use the same way of Jehovah's Witnesses thinking. So now you are asking yourself what I'm speaking about. Precisely, as you can already argue from the title of this video, the big topic I want to cope with. I will outline it now and sum up, but I will develop it better in the next videos. Is the relationship between Christianity and paganism. So, I don't want to prove why Christianity is right. I want to prove all those people who until actually beginning of last century were plainly admitting and accepting that Jesus Christ did exist, but was not who he claimed to be, or better, was not who it is claimed he to be into the gospel, but something else. So this is a position that is, okay, also wrong, but totally respectable. So I will not go there to argue on that level, because for me it still fits into the scope of the pardonable mistakes. And this depends also on faith, of course. What I want to argue against, reasonably, with reason, is the fact that it is claimed that Jesus and all the stuff around never existed, and they were made up by a bunch of people who wanted to create a new religion for particular needs, purposes, more or less obscure. And that's it. They sat around the table and they say, okay, what do we put in this book? This and this and that. How do they decide what to put in that book? The Gospels, in this case, so the books. By, of course, as in the case of other pagan religions, just by cherry-picking elements of paganism around, and of course near in space and time. We are talking mostly about Sumerian, Egyptian religions, and so on and so forth. Although many people also stretch to claim that there are not only similarities but real encounters, which in turn explain similarities between Christianity, Christians, and, for instance, Hinduistic or Buddhistic religion. We are not talking about the post-Lord's death. Of course, the evangelization process, even by the apostles themselves, touched the Far East. We have the case of St. Thomas in India, for instance. We are speaking about the real during the life of Jesus. So there are a bunch of people that say Jesus in that period that we don't know where he was between 12 and 30, namely where the Gospels interrupt the tale. He was in India and take elements of Buddhism and came back, and between this mixture between Buddhism, Zen, and Jewish religion, then we got Christianity, which is such a kind of melange. And there are others that claim to be scientists, claim to be historians or archaeologists or master philologians, that actually say that the religion has been created. It is amazing because usually atheists are the first adversaries of creationism, and as life also other phenomena, cultural phenomena, anthropological phenomena as well occur by evolutionism. I remember I was in Naples at a conference of the famous anthropologist Marc Auger, the French one, that theorized the non places, the theory of the non places. If you want to go deeper with it, go deeper. I won't go further in my speech now. And I asked, and he was speaking about God, how religions are created, how they stand up, so how they emerge. This is one of the favorite verbs of evolutionists and in general skeptical atheists. Everything is just come from through a process of years, centuries, sometimes millennia from a cultural point of view. And we are speaking about eons, like tens of and hundreds of thousands of years regarding to biological phenomena. So that's how things come into being. Stratification, emergence, and mixing, and so on and so forth. So this is a very well-known epistemological tool that we use all the time, and I encounter all the time also with whatever book of history I found myself to study as I was as a bachelor at the University of Naples. They all claim the story as presented usually is not quite right, because there are many aspects, many things that sum up, and so on and so forth, to give like a halo of scientificity and impartiality to what one is handling. In this case, no. In this case, we see atheists blatantly lose all their cool, losing without shame all things that that could just hold them from passing the threshold of rationality, just in order to convince in such a bar conversation that actually this God, not God, but Jesus didn't ever exist. We are discussing about if he was the Son of God, if he was a prophet. He didn't exist at all. He was a pagan, the result of a pagan religions, more pagan religions. And the most prominent representative of this ism, of this flow of pseudoscientist, is Acharya S, D.M. Murdock. You may know her, and I don't want to go too nasty on her because pitifully she died some years ago. And I don't want to go nasty on that people, of course, even if according to both my point of view and her point of view, she really doesn't exist anymore. So she doesn't exist anymore at all. So I cannot offend someone who doesn't exist. So, but still, since I'm not so sure as she was, I will refrain a little bit. I will hold my passion on this and speak as much as it possible respectfully. Acharya S is a woman. She got a college degree in philology and Greek language, if I remember well, but she didn't attain a university whatsoever, neither a PhD, nothing. And this is no offense because I don't have a PhD too yet, and people with PhD are usually worse than people without. So I want to point out that the fact this woman was selling herself like a big shot. That's the point. While she is speaking, you can find YouTube videos. You can also find the free downloadable PDF of their chief works, which have the flamboyant title such as Sons of God, Krishna, Buddha and Christ Unveiled. Pay attention, sons is written like S-U-N-S, not S-O-N-S. So this big shot of a philology was doing a pun between son, the child, the kid, and the sun, the star, the sun, you know. They look quite similar in English, which is one of the latest formed and the most uncompleted and barbarian language of the history, the one through which I'm making myself clear. But if I need to speak of important things, of high things, of course I will speak in German or in Latin, not in the fucking English. So, and also my moron 5-year-old brother knows that in other languages, in Egyptian or in Greek or in Latin, son and son are two completely different words. So the fact is that she's playing about this pun, like something like it changed during the centuries, like we understood that, but it was that, and this is kinda painful. I don't want to present only the ridiculous claims that this lady did, because actually there are some things that give to think, honestly. There are similarities between pagan and Christian religion, indeed there are. But they are not so striking as pointed out, not so important as pointed out, and many times the information presented is totally false. There is no source at all that which can account for that claims. Like, for example, I don't know, in the economy of this book I've just quoted, Krishna was born on the 25th of December, Buddha was born on the 25th of December. Which is not true, just simply plain non-true. The Hindu feast to celebrate Krishna birthday is on the 19th of July. I don't remember well, but it's the farthest date from Christmas. The solstice of winter, the symbology of solstice of winter, which is on the 21st. So, but yeah, 4 days more, 4 days less, who cares? And so on and so forth. I will go through this stuff pretty carefully because I'm really done with these clowns. And by taking the work of this lady, which was quite remarkable and paradigmatic, I want not to destroy her or her memory, but I want to destroy all people that think the same way, telling them, look, you can be atheist how much you want. For this reason, you cannot speak as a fucking conspiracy theorist that just want to climb on mirrors and grasp parallelism, similarities like no tomorrow, just in order to destroy something true, like the Christianity. So that's my plan, that's my outline, that's my summary. So I don't know, do something to stop me, because I won't stop on this. I'm sorry if in the course of this I will offend someone alive. But it is just, all of this is just moron, you know. And I think that I can also allow myself to dismiss the clothes of deflating moderation that I wore at the beginning, because such a thing is really plainly evil, not only stupid. So stupidity is accepted, but when it mixed with evil, must be smashed in the evil way. Funny fact, this lady died on the 25th of December. Of the year before, her birthday would have been Easter. So this is not a proof. This is just a funny fact that anyone can understand how it was. For me, it's just a coincidence, but a so funny one that I couldn't stop myself from sharing with you. So prepare, and see you next time.